Hey everybody, how you doing? David Newman here from Do It Marketing. More new toys, more new toys. So I did my video the other day about the new Rode Procaster. I'm now trying out a new camera. So as promised in the last video, this is the Elgato FaceCam. And that's what we're looking at now. And I want to do a little bit of a kind of a side-by-side smackdown, and then also show you some of the settings of the FaceCam software that comes from Elgato called Camera Hub. So the part that you didn't see, the outtakes, is I also got one of these ginormous windscreen things for the Procaster. When I put this on here, number one, it's just taking up too much camera space. And it's also blocking part of the Do It Selling book, which clearly we cannot have. The other thing, and the reason I kind of put this on and then took it off and decided just to not worry about it, inside of the Rode Procaster, under this metal mesh, is a built-in pop filter. So I don't make a lot of plosive pops, but it can handle minor league plosive pops. Pop. So for example, that's one. Let me put this on just for a second. Pop. Big difference? I don't know, but I had this I was arranging the height of this, and it was all up in my grill, and I just didn't like the way it looked. See, there it is. All right, so we're taking that off. Anybody wants a, this is a, what is this? WS2, Rode WS2, $19.99. There may be one for sale. So let's put that aside. Let's talk about the camera. And I know you're wondering, what did the old camera look like? So let me get caught up here with my my titles. New gear. We are right now looking at the Elgato FaceCam. For comparison, FaceCam versus MacBook built in. Are you ready? Let's see if this works. Oh, there it is. Now, I'm biased because I'm used to seeing myself on the MacBook side. So FaceCam is kind of this darker one. I'm not sure if your left, right is reversed. I'm looking at my monitor here. So anyway, the FaceCam, the new Elgato FaceCam is the darker one. And I'm sitting in the same chair. It's interesting. On the MacBook, I look a little bit taller. But then at the same time, it also seems that my microphone is bigger. Whereas on the FaceCam, I'm a little bit darker and the microphone is smaller. Field of view, all that jazz. So this is, sorry. Use my hands. This is the side-by-side, which is kind of fun. And let me show you the real magic here, because the real magic here is this software called the Camera Hub. And let's see if I can bring this up. Oh my goodness. Okay. So now what we're seeing is in the sidebar, look, there's 3 David Newmans. Oh my God, there's 3 David Newmans. What's the world going to do with 3 David Newmans? Top in the sidebar. I'm not sure where it is. There's all 3 of me pointing in different directions. Anyway, top of the sidebar is the new FaceCam. Bottom of the sidebar, I'm talking to you now. Bottom of the sidebar, bottom of the sidebar is MacBook Pro built in. And then this is the software. This is where the magic happens. There's a lot of webcams that have adjustment software. This Camera Hub from Elgato is based on my research and is based on playing with it for a day or two. This is probably the most adjustable, most flexible software. So I'm going to mess some things up, screw some things up here. But let me at least show you. I'm going to get out of lose the titles there. So these little settings here, we're going to walk through, and let me do that now. And I will play with the picture. So obviously we've got zoom. We're zooming in. We're zooming in. All this is digital zoom. There's no actual physical zoom on this camera, so it's not like a DSLR. There we go. I think I had it set to 110. And then we've got contrast. Oh, look, lots of contrast. Very little contrast. Put the contrast back where it was. Just hit reset. Saturation can go from black and white. Hello, everyone. This is Black and White, David Newman, all the way to super saturated. We're coming to you from Mars. And then, of course, I put it around 56%. Sharpness, this says +2, but it's really 0. So if I take it down to 1, I'm a little bit blurrier. 0, I'm really blurry, not great. If I put it up to 3 or 4, then I look like an animated cartoon. It's my cartoon face. And so we're going to put that back. Exposure, this is where the real jazz happens. This is where your lighting setup, your background, all of these are factors. So my numbers are just what works well with this lighting in this room at this time of day. I haven't tested it at night. I should probably test it at night too. But you've got shutter speed and ISO. All you photography and digital photography people know what I'm talking about here. I have no idea what I'm doing. So shutter speed determines how much light is coming into the camera. So a lot of people have this set for 120 because I believe the rule of thumb is 60 frames per second. You double it for the shutter speed, so it should be 120. If I had stronger lights or bigger lights, I think this would look better. So memo to me, probably stronger lights, bigger lights are in the future. But I found kind of the sweet spot here for this particular setup to be 1/60th of a second. And then ISO, same thing. Woo, way washed out, way overexposed. And, you can play with this to whatever extent you think it looks okay. I am going to restore it to, there we go. So I've got 1/60th of a second shutter speed, 133 ISO. Ideally, the shutter speed should be 120, but it's too dark. And so that you play with the combination of shutter speed and ISO. A lot of these settings you can turn to automatic white balance. I'm looking kind of grayish green. Don't like the way that I look there. Turn that off, and I have the temperature set to 2800K. We could go nuts, and woo, we're in orange world. Orange world. Way too orange. Back down to the minimum. So the white balance obviously depends on, again, your lighting, your background. So I have that set to the minimum. And what else here? Processing noise reduction. That's has to do with graininess and blurriness. And so I just have that turned off. So the cool thing, by the way, with this Elgato FaceCam is once you have everything set to your preferences, you can hit save. It doesn't only save it to your computer, it saves it to the flash memory inside the camera. So inside the camera, it saves the settings. You could literally unplug this, take this to a different computer, plug it in. It would boot up with the same exact settings that you had on the previous computer. So it actually saves your camera hub settings into the physical flash memory of the camera unit itself. So there you go. I got itchy nose syndrome. So that's it. Let me get back to here. I'm not sure if we're doing. So it's funny because I'm looking, when I look at the MacBook, hello MacBook, that is a certain relative position, right, to the camera, because this sits on top of the laptop screen when I'm talking to Elgato. Hello, Elgato. Hello, Elgato. I love to point my finger right into the camera, talking to you. You. It's a little bit of a higher thing. Maybe keeps my posture better. I don't know. But let's get rid of that arrangement. We'll go back to side by side. And just as a reminder, FaceCam versus MacBook. FaceCam, again, a little bit darker. I'm not sure what left right is for you right now, but FaceCam a little bit darker, MacBook a little bit lighter. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I kind of like the original MacBook. Am I allowed to say that? I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that. Anyway, let's see how it looks on the recording when I look at the replay. And let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments. Which one looks better and sharper and clearer to you? All right. That's it for testing out the new gear part 2, the Revenge Webcam edition. All right. See you soon.